When people talk about fiction coming to life, I'll think of full dive technology, subtitles, in real life. In this sport, people use their boobs and butts to fight to the death.
What in the...
Thoughts?
I thought we were watching Daredevil.
Other than being an ecchi, this anime is also a shonen, and with shonen comes abilities and powers. And these powers. This girl's ass is literally possessed by the gatekeeper of hell. This girl's ass has foresight that can foresee every jiggle. This chick is straight out of JoJo. This girl has titty hypnosis that can literally drown people. This girl just says, F the police, and... She's fucking dead.
Number 639.
Some of my favorite medias use a wild, obscure nature to make something hilarious and unique. Chainsaw Man is about devils and devil hunters, deep tones about what makes you human, and a racist that doesn't shower and will be everyone's best girl soon. Dandadan is crazy in the sense that one chapter will have Obama, and the main plot is about perverted ghosts and aliens, and a guy missing his balls. Nothing is coherent, but it's all so fun. Keijo doesn't really have the interesting characters that my other examples had.
They must use fancy ingredients to make the elite classes meals.
Why are you acting like this is news to you? We've had this conversation before, Nozomi.
I know! I'm just...
Had a lobotomy. Although it's carried by its bombastic, ridiculous fight scenes. I think if you want a wacky, funny anime to watch with your friends, this is definitely the one.
It's not enough to train your bodacious behind. If you want to excel at Keijo, you have to understand the science behind it. A science called astronomy.
Breasts and buttocks are very intricate subjects to study. Has anyone ever noticed?
A lot of people's and my least favorite things in anime is when they don't have much going for it, so they just use fan service. I could be reading a Bible.
Preface. The new international version is a complete new translation of the Holy Bible, made by over 100 scholars working directly from the best available Hebrew. I thought that Jesus wrote the Bible.
But then again, when the anime embraces it and doesn't take itself too seriously at all,
Learn to attack with precision, like this.
the dub creators of High School DxD took this already ridiculous ecchi, let the voice actors do whatever they wanted, and they made something actually funny.
Anyone ever tell you you run like a schoolgirl?
Yes, ma'am. People have been telling me that my whole life. I wish that bicycle seat was my face.
Sorry, what was your name again? Was it Asia?
Close, it's Asya.
Right. Listen, Asia.
Maybe a marriage will get rid of his unhealthy obsession with the pornography.
My point is, all these use fan service to be funny, not as a crutch. Keijo fits in this pretty well, and it isn't just funny because the absurdity of its fights, the puns, the high stakes. It's funny because it's real. Meanwhile, in Portugal, on a summer day in 2017, a group of fans watching Keijo thought, what if we made this an actual sport? Just like that, a real-life test of the sport was born. Shortly after, an official Instagram, Twitter, Facebook accounts popped up. They were doing training videos, real-life tournaments. It was crazy. It was insane. Nothing like this had ever happened before. As Jay Roddy says, finally, anime was coming to life at last. People were ready to tell their grandchildren that they were around when Keijo became an Olympic sport. The world was about to have a rude awakening.
I would have expected this from Brazil.
It's Portugal.
Obviously, the human body isn't super balanced enough doing Keijo because our butts and busts weren't made for attack mode.
I've never been so ashamed for this country. Even Japan was getting in on the action. It was innovative, absurd, crazy, and was fun. A lot of girls were actually just wanting to play this game. Could this be the next big water sport? It was leaning to be a possibility now. They were posting actual training and technique videos as well as interviews. Articles were flooding in from all over. It was looking good. But before I go into what happened next, first I have to mention, this wasn't actually the first time this had happened. Quidditch is a sport from Harry Potter where you're flying on a broomstick and you have to get balls in the goal. In 2005, a group of potheads thought, what if we made this an actual sport? It was crazy. It was insane. Nothing like this had ever happened before. Just like that, in 2007, the first real-life Quidditch World Cup took place, and now over 200 colleges and 30 nations have Quidditch teams. The real-life adaptation came with a few changes, such as broomsticks are required to be between your legs at all times. So which one is really more ridiculous here? Backwards sumo or Harry Potter? I doubt J.K. Rowling and Daiichi Saiyami even thought about these becoming real, and yet they both had people that were so passionate about their work, they tried making it a reality. I never thought I would be comparing an ecchi with Harry Potter, but here we are. Keijo ended up not gaining enough traction and died out. But the fact is, a bunch of anime fans came together to make this crazy concept come to life. It's just incredible and shows the undefinable passion and love for these media and the effect they can have on people. Of course it didn't go competitive, but in the end, it was just a passion project made by some weebs and potheads. Fantasy becoming a reality should be a thing that happens more often. I don't really know what to say. Next week, I'm going to be making a video on the most obscure mangas known to man. So if you guys have any recommendations you'd like to share, put them in the comments, and they'll probably be in the next video. So, yep, goodbye.